Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have 3 fun fall snack ideas. Whether you just want some kind of fun fall treat to get you in the fall spirit or something fun for your kids for like a snack like after school or whatever, I've got you covered today. All 3 of these snacks were approved by my kids. They loved them and I can't wait to share them with you today. If I had to pick a favorite recipe out of today's video, it would probably be these little caramel grape pops. They're like a caramel apple, but cute and small, and we loved these. So I'm just starting off by taking some roasted salted peanuts and putting them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to crush those. I'm using like my meat mallet, but you could use a rolling pin or whatever you have just to crush them. And then I just dump those into a bowl to make it easy to dip our grapes into. So then I'm going to take my grapes, and I've got some stick pretzels here. I'm just going to stick the pretzel into one end of the grape. This will make it easy to like pick them up and eat them like you would a caramel apple. So once I have all the grapes that I'm going to do, I think I did 10, but of course you do as many as you want to do. Super easy to adapt and just make a bunch or just make a little bit. And I was just making them for the kids to have with their lunch this day. So I made enough for me to try it and for them to have it too. Then I've got some caramel dip here. I just heated this up in the microwave for about 20 seconds so that when we dip our grapes in there, it actually like sticks to the grapes, because I keep this in the refrigerator and it was like cold, and when it's cold it's like one solid blob of caramel. So you microwave it for just about 20 seconds and it's super easy to dip into. So I just took each grape, dipped it in the caramel sauce and then into the peanuts, and then just set it back on the cutting board. You could stick these in the fridge for just a little bit if you needed to, but that caramel pretty much cools instantly when it touches the cold grapes. So these were basically ready to eat. I put it on a little like snack board for the kids. This was their lunch this day, and we all loved these. They were very good. I didn't know if I would really like the flavor of the caramel and the peanuts with the grapes, but it was sweet and salty, just like a caramel apple. And I will definitely make these again, and they were super easy to put together. Next up, we've got these apple pie spiced pretzels. So I'm starting off this recipe by melting 1/3 of a cup of butter in the microwave, and then while that's melting, I'm going to mix together an apple pie spice blend. You can just buy like an apple pie spice blend at the grocery store, but I didn't want to do that when I could just use these seasonings that I already had on hand to create the same kind of blend. So I'm going to mix together 4 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of allspice, or you could use ground cardamom, and just a little pinch of cloves. So the original recipe for this has directions for baking this in the oven or doing it in the crock pot, and I chose the crock pot simply because I wanted my whole house to smell like apple pie. This is going to cook for 2 hours in the crock pot on high, so my house smelled amazing after making this. So here in the crock pot, I have added 5 cups of pretzels. And then I'm going to add in my 1/3 cup of melted butter, and then that apple pie spice blend that we made. And then I did a little bit of sugar. It says the sugar is optional. You could do 1/2 tablespoon to 1 tablespoon. I did about 1/2 tablespoon of sugar. You just mix that around really well. Make sure everything is coated really well. And then again, I said this goes in the crock pot on high for 2 hours uncovered. Make sure you do not cover it. And here's what they looked like when they were done. I just let them cool completely, and then I transferred them to an airtight container, and the kids snacked on these for a couple of days. They said that they really liked them. I didn't enjoy them as much as the kids said they did, but they said they really liked them. I don't know. I think it might have had too much cinnamon in them, but the kids didn't complain at all, so I don't know. But they were sweet and salty and pretty good. Just not one of my favorite things that I've made. And finally, the last recipe that I have to share with you today is these chocolate turtle apple slices. So I'm starting off with 1 apple here, and I'm going to cut it into about 1/2 inch slices. I wasn't exactly measuring it. I was just trying to make sure that I got 6 slices out of this one apple because that's what the recipe said to do. And then once I have my slices, I'm going to go in and remove the stem pieces and any of the seeds. Then I inserted a popsicle stick into the bottom of each apple. The recipe said that using a knife to cut the hole first would make it a little bit easier. I tried that and it didn't seem to make it any easier. You just want to do the best you can and try to insert it in there without breaking the apple. Next, in a microwave safe bowl, I added 1 3/4 cups of some chocolate chips, and then I'm going to put this in the microwave and melt this in about 15 to 20 second increments. I did 20 seconds the first time, and then for every other time I did 15 seconds until it was just melted. You're still going to be able to see chocolate chips like at the very end, but when you stir it together, they'll all melt. You don't want to overheat this because you will burn it. Believe me, I have done it. Just don't burn your chocolate. It smells really bad. So here's what that looks like. So you can still kind of see chunks of chocolate chips in it, but as you stir it together, all of that melts and it comes together and it's nice and melted. And then I'm going to take my apple slices and dip them in this and then put them on a parchment paper lined sheet pan. Then I did the same thing that I did with the chocolate, but with some caramels, microwave safe bowl in the microwave in about 15-second increments until it was melted. For me, this took about 30 seconds. And then you're just going to want to drizzle that over the top of your apples that are covered with chocolate. For some reason, my caramel cooled as soon as it hit the air. It did not want to drizzle the way I wanted it to, but it still all worked out. I just got it on there as best as I could. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. I wanted it to look pretty, but I'm going to cover it with pecans anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So once I had all my caramel on there how I wanted it, then I just went in with some chopped pecans and pressed those down into the caramel and chocolate. And then I stuck this sheet pan in the fridge for about an hour so my chocolate and caramel could cool. And here is what they looked like when they were done. The chocolate got nice and hard, and these were great. The kids loved them. I loved them. They tasted like a turtle. You've got your chocolate and your caramel and your pecans. They were delicious, and it was a fun little treat. Like, you still got an apple. I guess not really healthy, but delicious. And that is going to be it for this little fall snack video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you plan on trying any of these recipes, let me know which ones in the comments down below. And as always, any recipes that I mention are linked in the description box, so you can go back to the original creator of all of these recipes and get like a printout of it for you to make it yourself. I hope that you guys have a good rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!